So the other area that we mentioned is sort of the desktop heap, and that it allows for a default 12 concurrent users to connect. So if you expect to have more than 12 concurrent users of the System Architect XT client at a time, you'll need to go in and sort of change this amount. So this is done through a sort of a registry setting and through a web.config file. So Microsoft provides a higher level overview on how to do this. So we recommend you go to the Microsoft site and look at the Microsoft details on modifying this. The saservice.exe.config file, well, this is similar to the web.config file. It contains the main configurations for the SA service, which provides the access for the process integrator client. The most common sort of configuration detail to change in this file is the default port number. So by default, it uses port 8022. So if you need to change this in your environment, this is the file you'll need to go to and edit. And so the only consideration you need to do is any changes that you make in this configuration file to take effect, you'll need to stop and restart the SA service, which is available through the system services. So then what you want to do is just a quick check of the client for post-installation check. So you can check on the server if you can actually access and log in to the default website. So if you can log in, if it's all running right, you should see a view similar to this. You should see System Architect XT, sort of client and a login sort of access. So it's good to just do a quick check to see if your IIS and your ASP and your published website is sort of providing and working sort of for the client. You then want to do sort of a quick check on any SA process integrator clients. So once you've installed XT and deployed that and set that up, and then you've done the process integrator client, you can execute Visio and then execute the System Architect template and the System Architect connection within that. And then what you will see is something similar to this. You would see an System Architect browser, which just connects to your data server, which displays your encyclopedias that the user has access to, and the displays the diagrams that they have available. So this would be sort of the view you would be looking to see from that process integrator client. So also available, as we mentioned, is the SAXT installation guide. So this is a really useful guide. It's got a lot of details and a lot of information in. So it provides further sections which you should look at. If you have any issues or you want to know more about configuring after your installation, specifically testing System Architect XT website, verifying website properties and IIS. It goes into great detail into that. Folder permissions for the impersonation account, which we mentioned, if it doesn't have local administrator privileges. Registering the .NET framework. Sometimes it's not registered correctly on the server. Editing the web config and the SA service config files. So also what you want to look at as well, if you have any issues, review log files. There is an SA2000.log file, which is found in the default installation directory System Architect. This can be very useful. So it's found in the SAXT sort of service. So it's very useful. If you get any errors or issues, look at this first. And also, the most useful sort of log file is the system event logs, so the control panel administrative tools. So as it's dependent on IIS and ASP and directory sort of services and folders permissions, it's common that if you happen to get any errors or issues, they'll be logged in the event log. And you can look at the normal Microsoft sort of resolutions for it, or provide this to customer support or anything if you happen to have any issues. And also what's provided is very useful troubleshooting guide to installing and setting up SAXT. So this is a knowledge base which is available on the support site. So it reviews things like if I have unauthorized use for IIS, or you have error starting a service, or if you have request times out. So this is also another area sort of in your deployment that you should look at, which is very, very useful. So now we've covered all the basic high-level deployment environment of System Architect XT. We've tried to describe how SAXT fits into a System Architect environment, what SAXT provides, how it fits into your network and your server configuration, what clients are supported by SAXT, how they're supported by a published website for the XT client, by an SA service for the process integrator clients, what type of user roles the clients have, the requirement of an enterprise shared encyclopedia, so how you need a catalog on a database server, how the permissions and the access needs to be configured in that. So basically what we tried to give you is the high-level overview to assist you planning your deployment environment so that when you come to do the installation, it can be as successful as possible.